sitting here setting up and I noticed that happening. What do you think's in the box? So I got my Rapt on Monday. This slider, Tracklist slider, hands down the best that there is. I feel like I've tried all the best ones now. Compiform V3, a couple of the magnet sliders with the Zirc plates. I haven't tried the Teflon plates, but I like my metal fidgets, so I can kind of assume that I won't like the Teflon, especially since I don't like fully taped sliders. The thicker APT tape is pretty similar to Teflon, I feel, as far as sound and videos and stuff, so surely that's enough of a gauge. The Rapt from ModusWorks. These plates right here are what make it what it is. The steel is a superior sliding surface. Really is. The Zirc is too soft. Titanium. I've had issues with mine right now. It's going to be getting sent back to Ivan for repair. It seems to be self-destructing. I don't want to put too much negative light on that. It really seems to be harming itself. I would totally own up to damaging it or getting something in there. But I didn't. I'm really careful about everything. It's either in my hand, in this case, or in a leather slip inside this fanny pack. I truly don't put my fidgets anywhere else. I'm ridiculously anal about keeping them in good condition. So that my V3, it's got to get back to Russia, but the shipping there is going to be, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Back on the Rapt. So this is the super stepped inlay. I've got a machine finished blackened Zirc body. And then Jonas was awesome. And he asked if I wanted to etch the Mokume myself. Well, it saved me a little bit of money doing that. I think that was maybe the main reason he asked, but man, I was so thrilled to be able to, kind of do the final assembly and make the Mokume look exactly how I want it to look. I did an etch on it in ferric chloride mixed with 50% white vinegar and left them in there for about 3 minutes. Not 3 minutes, what am I talking about? 3 sessions, 5 minutes each. So about 15 minutes total. There's separation between all 3 layers. The nickel silver is a little bit higher than the copper and brass. And the copper and brass are nearly on the same level, but there is a little bit of separation there. That's as much as I wanted. I wanted to be able just to feel the texture, not catch fuzz, and preserve the nickel silver layers without crystallizing it. It was crystallized a little bit after those 15 minutes, so I had to go over it with a yellow sunshine, here we go, yellow polishing cloth, one from Sunshine Polishing. These things are freaking awesome. I was able to really smooth up all of the nickel silver, get a little closer here, and really just bring out the pattern and still keep it textured, but it's got a nice shine. It's almost polished, I would say. I currently have the aluminum hybrid 4x2 inserts in there. That's actually the ones that Jonas sent with it in there because I had a feeling it would be the ones that I wanted. And he hooked me up with all the 3D printed ones, and then I've got a couple other aluminum ones just to mess around with. I did mess around with the all strong magnet 4x2, and it certainly was just a little too stiff. Having the bigger strong magnets on the corners is just man, it's just money. I do plan on going to a 3x2 setup soon, just to try. I'm usually partial to the 4x2s just because of the 3 clicks and some of the kind of weirder moves that you can do with a 4x2 like that. You can't do this one at all with a 3x2, and this one, it kind of works on 3x2 but not the same. So 4x2 for now, and then I got all these to play with. Maybe I'll find some other combination that I knew I would like just based on experience with other sliders. So the steel plates, took me a while to get on the Rapt train because they're exposed, and I'm just not a big steel fan. I don't have any steel in this whole box except for this, and this was a gift, and before I realized I started liking tungsten spinners, so the steel I thought was heavy compared to the one titanium spinner I had at the time. So yeah, steel. It's just not as, I don't know, I guess it's not exotic. Whenever I use it in tops, it's on the cheaper stuff. It's definitely a more inexpensive material, but for a functional surface, this is perfect. It's absolutely phenomenal. I've even got a couple little scratches already. Then that was for me. It was sanding grit on my hands, so I was being careless. And I could feel some of the scratches catch just a little bit whenever I would do straight pushes. But then after literally 10-15 minutes of fidgeting with it, all the scratches and everything, they smoothed back out. So on titanium and zirconium, in my opinion, all those scratches just keep getting worse and growing and growing. On this one, absolutely not at all. They almost polish themselves away. I mean, it's nuts. So I wouldn't say it's self-healing, but it's definitely self-smoothing without actually damaging itself further. Maybe that has something to do with the 3D machine pattern. Maybe it has something to do with the, let's see if I can get this lit up here just right. There we go. It only touches on the 4 corners, so that's it. It's a concave plate design. There we go, right there. And this way. Man, it's tough to line up on camera. So it makes it pivot amazingly. There's just not a lot of surface contact. So the plates are truly a work of art for fidgetability. They work so good. And then if you do damage them beyond repair, you can just replace them. Unlike, the Compiform stuff, it's you're kind of fucked if you damage it. That's kind of the boat that I'm in right now. We're trying to figure out what to do with it. There's nothing that can be done. Like, this is totally user serviceable. You just grab your T6, pop the screw out, and put the new plates in. It's entirely modular. It's incredible. So the fact that it's modular and, in my opinion, has the most superior sliding surface, these are the best sliders you can buy right now. Especially since you can custom order any materials you want, get the exact weights that you want based on materials. I mean, it's just, you can get it totally dialed. It's incredible. Such a good slider. And then Jonas also does laser engraving on the inside. Like this one's number 41 and it says super stepped, like on the inside right here. But I asked if he could do some stuff on the outside. I've got Crohn's disease, so I got fuck Crohn's on all of these outside edges and some symbols that just mean mean a lot to me, things that have helped me through Crohn's. So this piece is just beyond special. Ever since getting Crohn's, I've always wanted a custom fidget with some kind of engraving that says fuck Crohn's. It was gonna happen on a custom torque bar. I'm still next on the list now, like 5 years later. So there's that. I kind of gave up there. So I didn't think it would ever happen. Hit up a couple other makers that do laser engraving on their things, and I don't know. Could just never get anything worked out. Jonas, on the other hand, he jumped right on it, and he worked with me pretty much all day on getting the symbols and the font and everything dialed for the fuck Crohn's. And also the depth of the laser engraving, whether we were gonna laser first and then flame, or flame it and then laser, then flame again. There were several ideas that I had on getting the look that I wanted, and we exactly nailed it. He did 70% laser power, lasered, and then flamed it all together. So you get just a very subtle, engraving you can hardly feel it. It catches a little bit of fuzz on just some of the sharpest edges, but that's only whenever I wipe it down with something very linty. So it's just, I don't know. The engraving is super special. I absolutely love it. What else I gotta say about this fucking thing? Oh, the inlays. I don't think many people know this because I didn't. They're held on with some VHB tape. So we, put 2 strips on the inside of the inlay, and then we went around with an X-Acto knife, utility blade, and trimmed it all perfectly. So the whole backside is covered in the adhesive. And this stuff is only like 4 or 5 thousandths thick, like human hair thick. So pretty awesome that that's how it goes on here. And I think it even contributes to giving it a little bit more of a dampened sound, which is something I'm also fond of. I don't want a shrill, harsh click like nailing my ears all the time when I'm playing with this thing. So the deeper pop is very welcomed. I think that deeper pop is also from there's rubber dampeners on the inside here. So to kind of, I really don't want to take this thing apart because I got stuff to do, and that's going to make this video twice as long if I start digging in there. But you've got, you know, your magnet plates that are here, and they're just under the steel surface. And then between the insert and the body, there is a rubber strip that's basically the same shape as this, just solid. That's a little dampener that, yeah, it holds everything in place, keeps things from shifting around. Because the magnets and the inserts would be able to shift a little bit if you didn't have those dampeners in there. So it really gets it locked in, especially once, you know, you tighten it down to the right torque specs. I don't have a number on that, but, you know, just proper tightness. It seats these corners up where they, you know, interlock together right here. And it just, yeah, gives it that good sound. Just a little bit of dampening. I guess I'm done rambling about the Rapt. If you're thinking about what slider to get a Rapt, even if it's just one of the cheaper ones. It's really about these plates. If you want a slider and you want to fidget and it's not entirely about the aesthetics, just get a Rapt and go with whatever you can afford on the body part. Even if it's just a standard one without the inlays. I think those start at like 200 bucks. Absolutely the best trackless slider that there is. It's that simple. I don't even have another one in this box right now. This is the only trackless slider that I have. The other one, only other one in my possession is the V3, and that's sitting in a box right now, not being used because I don't want to damage it further. So yeah, I've been through all of them and they've all been sold off except the V3. So yeah, the Rapt, it wins. Full on. I'm gonna shut up. See y'all. Thanks.